Alright, this is my cousin Zach.
Right.
And Riggle, the cameraman. So, the game of football. The football field is 100 yards long and 53 yards wide. The timing of the football game is set up in 4 quarters, 15-minute quarters, and separated by 2 minutes of in between the quarters. Also, a 12-minute break at halftime. So after each quarter, they get a 2-minute break, and they switch sides. One team, go in a certain direction, they switch sides and do all that. As far as timing goes, at the start of the play, they get 40 seconds to get the play called, get set up, and then hike the ball. Once the play is started, the time starts, and the time keeps rolling throughout the whole game. The only time that the time stops is when a player goes out of bounds, then the time will stop. An incomplete pass, time stops. Or if they get a first down, because they have to move the chains. This is college football, not pro. So when they move the chains, time stops, but the 40-second time limit for the play is still rolling, though. That does not stop unless the referees call that and there's a timeout or anything like that. Each team gets 3 timeouts throughout each half of the game. It's a 30-second timeout. As far as the players go on the football team, there are 11 players on each team. That are on the field. Offense and defense. Offense, you have tight ends, which are on the front line on the outside. Then you got guards, your tackles, and your center, which are also on the front line. The center will hike the ball to the quarterback. Once the quarterback receives the ball, they have at least 2, may have someone in the backfield, a running back, that will block for them if they're going to throw, for throwing a pass. Or then you have receivers out on the left and right part of the field. When the ball is hiked, depending on the play, if it's a run play, then you have your linemen up front that are going to block the defenders that are on the front line as well. Block them along with the linebackers. You send other people, go up and block the linebackers. Run the ball up the middle, on the outside, any way you can get through. If that player breaks away and scores a touchdown, there's 7 points when you score a touchdown. Well, 6, sorry. And you get an extra point when you have to kick the ball, which is a field goal. Well, extra point field goal, which is 1 point after you score. Another way to score is by a safety. If the offense is back on their If the offense is back on their back in their own territory, close to the end zone that you're trying to score in, and you tackle that offensive player in their end zone, then you receive 2 points. After you receive 2 points, that team then has to kick back off to you, so you get the ball back too, along with scoring those 2 points. Another way to score is by a field goal. If you're on 4th down and you don't get close enough to that end zone to get in, you may kick a field goal, which is 3 points. And basically you can go from 50 yards is probably a long shot for kicking the field goal. It's going to be a little rough, but they can get there if you have the right kicker. When tackling in football, it's big controversy these days. No helmet to helmet causes a lot of injuries, concussions. Just not good for the whole outlook of football, people getting hurt. So if you get helmet to helmet, there will be a penalty flag, which is most likely going to be 15 yards. And if you get 2 of those during a game, two penalty flags about excessive hitting, roughness, then you will be ejected from the game because they're trying to keep everyone safe. Also, hitting the knees on the quarterback will also be another flag. You don't want to hit the knees. They're trying to keep people safe, even though it's a contact physical sport. You need to keep players safe. Turnovers in a football game. Lots of ways for the ball to get a turnover. When the offensive team is running the ball and they get tackled or they just drop the ball. It's called a fumble. With a fumble, you can scoop and score. You pick that ball up and run, go to a touchdown. Otherwise, if you pick it up, you get possession of the ball. Then that ball is turned over to the defense, and then their offense comes down the field. And also interceptions. When the offensive player, the quarterback, throws the ball, and the defensive player intercepts it, that's another turnover. That means the defensive team, they got possession, they can run, score, they get tackled, then their offense comes out and plays the rest of the game. When you're doing extra points, when you're scoring, like I said before, you can kick it in, which is 1 point, or you can go for 2, which is the 2-point conversion, which consists of just a regular play, throwing the ball or running the ball. Either way, you get more points that way. That kind of comes down to the end of the game. If there's, say it's a close game and you're the away team, you kind of just want to score and win. You don't want to go into overtime because that stadium's going to get really loud and it's going to be kind of hard to concentrate. So a lot of teams go for 2. When it's, cut into a close game, they just want to win the game instead of tying it up and going to overtime. So, football, there's a lot of rules, a lot of guidelines, but once you start playing it or watching it, it doesn't take long to catch on. The penalties are kind of hit or miss. It just depends on if the referee sees it. But all in all, it's a great game to play, great game to watch. America knows that. Super Bowl Sunday was a great time. So, yeah.